Hey everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope that you are all having a fabulous Sunday or a fabulous weekend, and I hope you all have a good week coming up. Welcome back to my kitchen for another week's worth of What's for Dinners. My name is Bethany, or Budget Bethany, and in today's video, it's going to be nothing but easy, quick, simple, back to school meals.
I'll be okay, miss you like an old friend. Too scared now, thinking I should call up all night.
On the first night of back to school, we decided to have sub sandwiches. It's something that's easy, quick, and it doesn't require any cooking. So I just got some of these sub rolls, and I got them from the Walmart deli, and I'm just cutting them in half, or not all the way in half, just kind of like a hot dog bun. And then I'm going to put some honey mustard on mine and some mayonnaise, and we got this sub kit from Walmart also, and it's got ham and salami in it. I put that on there, and I put lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and banana peppers, and then a little bit more honey mustard because I am crazy about honey mustard. And that was my sub. Oh, and I also, when I went into the refrigerator to get the tomatoes out, I seen my pepperonis, so I threw some pepperonis on there also. This is something that's easy, quick, and simple, and I'm pretty sure everybody loves sandwiches, so it's a really good idea for weeknights whenever you're not feeling like cooking or you're in a crunch for time. You just throw a sandwich together and call it dinner. I found this jalapeno cheese, cream cheese dip stuff. It's back there at Walmart next to the sour cream. And y'all, if you've never tried it, you have to try it. It is so good. I just dipped mine with some crackers, and that was dinner on this night, y'all. Here is how everything looked. My sub was really messy, but it was so delicious. Alright y'all, tonight we're going to be making some Crockpot Italian chicken, and for this all you'll need is some chicken breasts. I've got mine over here. I'm fixing to put them in the Crockpot in just a minute. And then you'll need a block of cream cheese, and this is optional. I just had it and I need to use it up, so I'm going to throw that in there too because more cheese, more bitter. You need one of these Italian salad dressing and recipe mixes, a can of cream of chicken, salt and pepper, a bottle of this Olive Garden Italian dressing, and some Parmesan cheese. I preferred to have the shredded, but all I could find was grated, so that's what we're going to use in ours. Now we're going to start putting it in our crock pot and get it going. Okay, so I'm not meaning to state the obvious, but for the first step of making the creamy Italian chicken in your crock pot is to add your chicken to your crock pot. I'm just using some chicken breasts, and then I'm going to season it up. And I always tell y'all to use whatever kind of seasonings you like, but I'm using just some salt and pepper because I feel like you're going to add your Italian seasoning dressing also, so you don't need a lot of. Wow, I just dumped a whole lot of pepper in there, so you don't have to add that much pepper if you're adding pepper. But you're also going to add your Italian dressing packet, and it's got lots of seasonings in it, so I didn't feel like I needed any extra. Then you'll pour in your Italian dressing, and then you'll add in your Italian dressing packet, of course. Then you'll add in your 1 can of cream of chicken, and I use the can that the cream of chicken come out of, and I fill it up with water, and I add a little bit of water into mine also. Then I just top with my block of cream cheese and put the lid on it and cook it on low for 5 hours. Yes, I also forgot to mention that you'll add your Parmesan cheese. I would say you would want to get the shredded kind, but if you can't get the shredded kind, you get the grated kind, it works just as well. So I'm just adding that into my crock pot, and then I'm going to pop the lid on it, and now I'm adding in this cheese that I'm trying to use up, y'all. I don't know where I'm at today, but anyway, once you add all your ingredients in there, you'll pop the lid on it, and you'll cook that on low for 5 hours, and this is how it'll look once it's done. It is so good. You just shred your chicken up and add in your rotini noodles, or really whatever kind of pasta you prefer. I feel like any kind of pasta will work with this kind of dish. Then you plate it up, and that's dinner, y'all. I just cooked some green beans on the side with ours just to add a little something extra to it, but you don't have to do that. I mean, it's good without anything. It's really filling, and it makes a whole lot. So we had lots of leftovers for lunch the next days. This is really good, y'all. My family gave it a 5 stars, or 5 out of 5 stars, and I didn't think they were going to. I was just for sure that my husband was not going to like this recipe, but he did, and it was a win-win. So I hope you guys will give it a try also. Next night we had some good old BLTs and some tater tots, or whatever you guys call those little circle tater things. I've just got some bacon that I baked in the oven and some Canadian bacon on there also, some lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, and this was dinner on this night, y'all. I cut it into little squares like that because it was loaded up and it makes it easier for eating. This was really good. My family tore it up, so if you're needing a quick meal idea, I highly recommend a BLT, because I'm pretty sure everybody in your family is going to love a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich, because who doesn't like bacon? Alright, so for the next night, I threw together a cheesy, creamy potato, sausage, and ham crock-pot meal idea. So all you'll need is some potatoes, and I diced those up, and some sausage, and I cut those in circles. 1 can of cream of chicken, I dumped that in, and then I fill that can up with water, and then I pour that water in there. I seasoned it with salt and pepper, and then I added some cheddar cheese, and I also add the ham squares like you usually eat in salad. Originally I wasn't going to add those, but I had those on hand, so I just throw those in as well, and I feel like it made a whole lot of difference. We preferred it that way over than the way with just sausage in it. So if you have some ham squares on hand, I highly recommend you throwing those in there as well. Here it is once it was all done with all of its cheesy goodness. If you've never had this kind of dish, I highly recommend you giving this one a try as well. Alright, so for our final night this week, my son requested hamburger steaks, mushroom onion gravy, and mashed potatoes, and some green beans. So I seasoned up my ground beef with garlic salt, which is our sauce, and Tony seasoning. I've got about 2 pounds of ground beef right here, and I also added in 2 pieces of light bread, or whatever you guys call it, just plain old white bread, and I crumbled it up in there. Then for my gravy, I've got 2 cans of sliced mushroom, an onion, and some brown gravy packets, and then I've got some potatoes right there. I'm going to dice those up and boil those, and then mash them up, add some butter, milk, salt, and pepper, and make the mashed potatoes. Right now I'm heating up some oil, and I'm going to pat out some hamburger patties and put in there, because that's all it is. When I say hamburger steaks, it's not really steak, it's just ground beef patted out into hamburger patties and fried in a skillet in some oil, and then you just smother it with some gravy. I'm just skimming off the starch off the top of my potatoes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that, but my grandma always did that, and she showed me to do that. So I've always skimmed off the white foamy stuff off the top of my potatoes when they're boiling. Okay, Okay, so now we're going to make the mashed potatoes, and I just boiled my potatoes until they were soft, and I'm adding in lots and lots of butter because, as Paula Deen always said, more butter, more better. Anyway, I'm going to add my butter in there, and then I'm going to add some milk, and y'all know I don't measure, so you just add whatever you prefer to add. I just kind of eyeball it, and then I'm going to use my fork because, like I said in last week's What's for Dinner, Miss Teeny showed me this, and it makes perfect mashed potatoes every time. So I'm just going to mash them with the fork and get all the milk and butter incorporated, and then I'm going to cover with some salt and pepper, and that's going to be mashed potatoes, y'all. It's easy, simple, and I'm pretty sure if your kids are like mine, they love mashed potatoes. And let's face it, homemade mashed potatoes are always better than those packaged mashed potatoes. Always. Okay, so for the brown gravy, I just cut up half an onion into my skillet right here, and I've got some butter in there to keep it from sticking. Then I poured in my 2 cans of mushrooms, and I'm just gonna saute those until the onions are done. Then I poured in my 3 packets of brown gravy and added added 2 cups of water in there, and then stirred that all together and made my brown gravy. There's my husband stealing some hamburger patties. Then I just plated it up, and this is how it looks once it was all plated up. You pour gravy on top of your hamburger patties and your mashed potatoes. Then we just had some of those Margaret Holmes green beans on the side, the Italian seasoning. That's all I got for y'all this week. I hope you all enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner. If you did, please don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. I would love for you to join my YouTube family, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.